The Benjamin S. Rosenthal Library, named after the 12th-term Queens Congress member, stands tall on the Queens College campus as a monument to education, learning, and research. Adjacent to the library is the magnificent Cheney, Goodman, and Schwerner Clock Tower, dedicated in honor of the 3 murdered civil rights workers. The library holds many treasures of activism, movements, and sacrifice in its signature collections. This includes writings, mementos, and irreplaceable objects and videos. Many reflect the arduous struggles of Queens College students, staff, alumni, and faculty at the forefront of some of the most historic moments in the civil rights movement. Registering voters during Freedom Summer in Mississippi, fighting desegregation in schools in Virginia, and organizing protests against discrimination. The college has gone to great lengths to establish the Civil Rights and Social Justice Archives. The collection provides a wealth of primary sources, including documents, photographs, oral histories, and other materials that highlight pivotal milestones in the battles for racial equality. Starting in 2009, Queens College's Special Collections and Archives began collecting materials from alumni, faculty, and community members involved in these movements, particularly during the 1960s. Alumnus and civil rights activist Mark Levy, who participated in the Mississippi Freedom Summer Project in 1964, was the first to contribute to the archives.
He was a student here in the early 60s, very active. He was a student association president while he was here. And in the spring of 1964, he and his wife, Betty Bollinger Levy, volunteered to participate in Mississippi Freedom Summer. They were in Mississippi for the summer and co-coordinated a freedom school in Meridian. And while Mark was there, he really assiduously documented his experience. He brought a camera with him and took dozens of photographs. And he also saved all of the publications and clippings that were being amassed and distributed. He saved all of the letters that he wrote and exchanged with his parents, friends, and family while he was in the South. And he was really looking for a home for these materials, and he wanted them to be at Queens College so that this community specifically could know its history. He had what turned out to be about 30 boxes of material, so quite a large collection. After that, he really canvassed his friends and asked them what they could find in their attics and their closets about their time working on civil rights activities, and from there, other alumni started donating.
The treasures include the papers of James R. Foreman, Executive Secretary of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, known as SNCC. The papers of Rabbi Moshe Shore, organizer of the heralded Queens College In the Footsteps program. He was a dedicated activist in the South in the 1960s who worked with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and taught at Queens College. The collection featuring Andrew Goodman, the Queens College student who was tragically murdered along with James Cheney and Michael Schwerner by Ku Klux Klan members during Mississippi Freedom Summer in 1964.
I remember doing a reference request for a scholar. I was doing scans for the scholar from the Mark Levy papers. There are all of these notebooks that he was taking notes contemporaneously during his training for Mississippi Freedom Schools. And in one notebook, it went from notes on how to interact with local organizers to a blank sheet, and then a sheet that just has a note on it that says, Goodman and Schwerner are missing. Some kind of news alert or news bulletin that was going around at the training center, and then a blank page, and then back to notes, and right back into training for this organizing effort. And it was really moving and also a little bit frightening to see just represented materially in real time what that must have been like. Just one detail that kind of shifted my understanding of how that summer went.
The archives have press clippings, an audio recording, and a transcript of Dr. King's historic speech nearly 60 years ago at the college's Colden Auditorium in May of 1965.
It was Queens College that gave to America, and indeed to the world, Andy Gutman, whose creative witness will certainly live for generations yet unborn. He, along with others, paid the supreme price for this struggle, and I'm sure that we will see in many ways that his death was not in vain. We've come a long, long way in the quest to make freedom and human dignity a reality for all people of our nation, but we still have a long, long way to go.
The Civil Rights and Social Justice Archives not only preserves the history of activism at Queens College, but also provides invaluable tools for scholars, educators, and community activists today.
The projects and the work that people do with the collections is wide-ranging, very diverse. There are faculty and researchers who write books, who create works of art, who create choreography and dance works, especially right here, right? Edison Weeks, Dr. Magnus Bassi, they have published things in the last couple of years that directly involve the Queens College archives.
Dr. Magnus Bassi, professor of secondary education and youth services at Queens College, used the library's archives when writing his new book, Student Activism in 1960s America, Stories from Queens College.
That is where the original source material could be found. Students who want to do serious research, they go to the archives and find the original resource from the participants' voices, so you have first-hand information of what you are writing about. Using primary sources is the most important research tool that scholars have, and I think you have to be patient because those articles are not written and given to you. You have to put the pieces together.
Carmine Kulut, a Queens College alumna and adjunct lecturer of Africana Studies and Sociology for the Percy Ellis Sutton Seek program, utilized the archives both as a student and now as a faculty member.
You should come visit the Civil Rights Archives because it's a great way of knowing about the Queens College history and also the footsteps or the imprint that Queens College has left on the civil rights movement. And I think that as they learn the history, they're able to then be those who protect it, those who inspire, and those who are the next generation of those who can inspire based off of that legacy by building community, by building clubs that protect ideas, by having conversations that can be comfortable or even uncomfortable in the classroom, and by being comfortable being uncomfortable, which I've also learned at Queens College. And through dialogue and through community, we're able to protect the dreams that Martin Luther King had. We're able to protect our clock tower. We're able to protect programs like the SEEK program and also College Discovery and more.
The archives help to ensure that the lessons of the past continue to inform, educate, and inspire future generations.
Everyone has a responsibility to understand how we got here, especially to the sense to avoid going back. As a Black woman, I understand I've had firsthand prejudice and discrimination against me. In my current role here at Queens College, serving as the interim dean, that a number of people are probably presupposing that, oh, I got here because I'm Black. And I have to remind them, no, I got here not because I'm Black. I got here because I'm good. I got here because I'm qualified. I got here because I'm competent. I got here because I know the job. I know how to do the work. I'm doing the work. I would plead that people just go back and understand the experiences of people that are not like them and understand the struggles that it takes, like every day, having to prove yourself, having to prove that you are worthy, having to prove that no one's giving you a handout, no one's giving you a freebie, no one's giving you a pass. If I had any physical battle wounds, they would run deep because I've sacrificed a lot, I've done a lot just to prove that I deserve to be here. And I think if people were to take the time to just look at the struggles using this collection, look at the struggles of people and what they've gone through to get here, I think it might make a difference. I just want people to just have a better understanding of actually what race and racism means to some people and the struggles that they've gone through, and show compassion.
It is a fact that we've come a long, long way, but it isn't the whole truth. And I'm afraid if I stop at this point, I will leave some of you the victims of a dangerous optimism, and I will send you away the victims of an illusion wrapped in superficiality. So in order to tell the truth, it is necessary to move on and say not only that we've come a long, long way, but that we have a long, long way to go before the democratic promise is a reality.